Evening. Not tomorrow, on Tuesday, Japan will be facing Australia in Brisbane for a game that I was supposed to go and attend, but my exam is on that day, so I can't do that. But I suppose that means I'll be able to do a review. So anyway, Japan, obviously we've talked about in enough depth, has come off 2 wins from 2, scoring 9 goals in the process and conceding less than 5 shots all for 2 matches. Australia has come off some less than desired results. They started things off on June 1st with a friendly in Copenhagen where they lost 2-0. But did create their chances, although Denmark were the better team. They travelled to Muscat, Oman in a game that was played at about 40 degrees, where they had a 0-0 draw. Again, they had their chances, but Oman also had their chances, and Oman looked like they were the better team in the second half. Maybe, especially for possession, particularly. So Australia's on the back foot. If they lose this game to Japan, they will be very much on the back foot. Right now, Australia obviously have 1 point, but if they were to lose, you would imagine they would need to collect 14 points in 6 games, which it would have to include a win on the road, which is not an easy task for any team. So I think they're under a bit of pressure to win this game, and I think the players know that, and I think they might be quite aware that they haven't scored for a while. But, we'll see what happens. Australia line up in a 4-4-2 formation, a flat 4-4-2 formation. The last game they played, their 2 attackers were Brosk and Harry Kewell. Alex Brosk of Shimizu S Pulse and Harry Kewell of Melbourne Victory. So whether those 2 will start up top again, I'm not sure. In my opinion of the Australian team, I think Alex Brosk, it would be wise to start Alex Brosk with Josh Kennedy, but I'll get to that in a second. I don't think that Holman will do that. But anyway, the most important player, I think, for Australia would be Mark Bresciano, currently playing central midfielder. He's an old guy. He's I think about Endo's age, so 32, 33 years old. But he's by far technically the best player on the Australian team, especially with regards to his passing vision. He's really their main playmaker. The issue with Australia is that I can't see them outplaying Japan, really, but I can definitely see them getting the odd goal on a corner, a cross, anything that, some sort of aerial ball, particularly if they played Josh Kennedy. See, the lineup that they went out against Oman in had an average height of 181.2 centimetres, of which their 3 players on the field were 182 centimetres or more. Now, if you add that Josh Kennedy might start, that would be 4, and Japan's average height for the last game, for this upcoming game will be about 177.6. Kurihara at 184, Maeda at 183, Honda 182 will be the tallest players. This wouldn't concern me on other teams because I think most teams, even Jordan and Oman, probably had a taller average height, but Australia are a physical team. And they will resort to that if need be. Their style of play isn't particularly modern. Like I said, they play a 4-4-2, which is not something that you commonly see nowadays. But they do have their individual players. I think one of them, like I said, was Bresciano. Another one's Brosk. Harry Kewell is old and a bit slow, but he definitely has his days. And back at the Asian Cup last year, he terrorised the Japanese defence, if I'm honest. So, I think Australia will line up 4-4-2 again. Ognanovsky and Lucas Neal will start at centre-back for them. Wilkshire and probably North on the side backs, but North has had Jade North of Consadole Sapporo has had a lot of criticism recently. Bresciano and Valeri to start in the centre, and Brosk, I'm not sure he'll start, but it will either be Brosk, Kuehl, Cahill or Kennedy. Two of those players will be up forward. I think the wisest move for Australia would be to play Brosk and Kennedy up forward. I don't think it's a really tested formation, tested pair, but I just think Brosk is technically good enough and Kennedy's has got better, and he'll be useful against a shorter Japanese defence. Now, from Japan's perspective, the big news is that Maeda Yoshida's injury against Jordan wasn't very good. He's out for 46 weeks, which rules him out for this game against Australia, obviously, and probably even rules him out for the Olympics, which someone commented last video that he was picked for the Olympics, and that might not happen now. So that's a real shame. But to come in for him will be Yuzo Kurihara of Yokohama F. Marinos, and he'll be probably alongside Konno in defence. I'm not certain that will be Kurihara, but I'm almost certain it will be. Yeah, so with regards to that, Japan will play their exact same lineup as they have the last two games. The exception of Kurihara will be with Konno in defence. The implications for that. Kurihara, I've said this in the last time that he played against North Korea, I don't think he's good enough in the air. Well, he wasn't in that game at least. So I think he's really got to step up. He's got to really meet this challenge. The last time I saw him play a very good game, or two good games, was against Argentina and against South Korea. Now, both those times he really stepped up to the plate, particularly against South Korea. And I think he really needs to do so again, because if Japan dominate this game and Australia score on a corner or something stupid like this, then that will probably be the most frustrating thing to see. So, other than that, everybody else seems healthy. Morimoto's out of the squad, but he wasn't going to play anyway. So, now, important to remember is that the first two games, everyone's talking about this like, Japan are. I've even seen the word world class thrown around by the Australian media a little bit occasionally. But I think what's important to remember is that while those first two games were good, they were definitely the easiest two games of this qualifying round. Home against Jordan and Oman will be the two easiest games. Iraq and Australia will be harder, and Jordan and Oman away will be harder. So I think that, and last time that Japan made this kind of start in the third round, they went away and didn't get a very good result in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. I think it was 1-1 draw. So, yeah, the key would be to cause the Australian team to lose shape a little bit. They generally keep their shape well, but judging from the goals they can concede, they're not comfortable with dribblers, I don't think. Not as comfortable as some teams. No team is really comfortable with a good dribbler, but for example, the game against Saudi Arabia, it was when players started dribbling and challenging their defenders. That was when Saudi Arabia got through, and I think that's also how one of Denmark's goals came about. Also, recently Australia hasn't been as solid at set pieces as they're usually known to be. So, if someone like Okazaki or Roichi Maeda can get on the end of one, there's an opportunity to score. Last of all, Australia will be fired up. They will be much better than they were in Oman. They'll be playing at home, obviously, in front of probably 50,000 crowd at Suncorp Stadium. I think people are favoriting Japan a little bit too easily, just on the back of two Australian results. I think it'll be a lot tighter, and the whole game, I think, will be decided on how well Kurihara and Konno do at defensive crosses, set pieces, or the aerial game in general. If those two can really step up and beat guys like Kennedy, Brosk or Q or Cahill, whoever happens to be out forward, I think Japan will have this game quite easy if they step it up. So, yeah, I think big loss is Yoshida's out. The other big loss, not for Japan, but for Australia, is Brett Holman, who plays in the Netherlands, is out. He's, I think, with his wife or something for the birth of one of their children. So I think he, as long with Bresciano, would have been the most important Australian player, but he's out, so that's good news. But it also means that Brosk will probably play, and he's a good player. So, yeah, I'll probably cut it off now because I think I'm at about 11 minutes. So if you have any comments, do talk about it below, and I'll try to get back to you if you had a question or anything. So, yeah, see ya.